comes to your money, there is a difference in how baby boomers and millennials spend it. But how do spending trends differ between those two? Anthony Paul, the financial advisor from Morgan Stanley Wealth Management, is here with some insight. Good to see you again.
Same
Thanks
here.
for being here.
Always a
Let's
pleasure.
start with the millennials.
Yes.
How do millennials spend?
Well, you know, millennials grew up in the shadow of the Great Recession. So in today's millennials, when they started off with high student loan debt, increased housing costs. So some of those things have really impacted the way they look at spending, and as well as starting households later in life. But now, as they've begun to age, they're increasing that spending because they're looking at, you know, home purchases, et cetera. So what you have today is in the U.S. economy, your prime peak earning years are from ages 35 to 55, and that's when your earnings, savings, and investments start to happen. So right now, millennials are expected to increase their spending by 25% as that first group is now becoming more mature. In 2016, most millennials from that first wave are now in their mid-30s. So now they're actually creating households, looking for financial security, and we're seeing the numbers in home spending as well as insurance.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, and what are baby boomers doing then?
Well, boomers are, personal consumption accounts for about 70% of the U.S. GDP. So that said that baby boomers have 70% of disposable income. So that first wave of baby boomers are now older, so their personal consumption is in different pots. They're more focused on healthcare. So it's estimated they're going to spend 3.4% more on healthcare than their parents. So situations such as, you know, transportation, apparel, they're spending less in those areas and more on things like healthcare, as I said a moment ago. So it's really a different contrast, is that both of them feed into U.S. consumption, which is a big piece of our GDP. But what you're going to see as we go forward in the economy is that they're going to both, because you have the millennials spending on new homes and financial security, and you still have the boomers spending on disposable income and healthcare as well. So we'll be additive to the economic growth cycle.
Well, the healthcare piece, it's because it's just so expensive. I mean, we should be healthier. We're living longer, but it's just costing us so much more, right?
It is. And that's one of the things that is going to be an eternal kind of discussion. One of these things of how do you keep healthcare costs under control, medications, et cetera. And as Americans are living longer, it's something that you have to factor in. Now, baby boomers have worked longer as well, and so their wealth accumulation has stretched a little bit, but that is something to definitely keep on top of their minds. And so one of the things to consider, I can see the wheels spinning in your head, is that it all boils back to the planning, the foundation piece of getting a comprehensive financial plan with your financial advisor.
And stay healthy, too. Anthony, thank you. It's always great to see you. Some good advice there. Of course, Kirk, I'm somewhere in between there, so I don't know what I'm doing.